Hey, welcome to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. This is the show where we talk to live performers, singers, writers. That wouldn't be really a live performer, but singers, actors, dancers, musicians, and a lot of comics, comedians. We talk to them about their careers, what they did before COVID, how they're adjusting to COVID, what they're going to do moving forward. The COVID has shut down the live entertainment industry completely across the board. This gives everyone an opportunity to catch up with their favorite performers, and the performers an opportunity to share some product, some merch, some albums, so forth, and get some support while we're going through this COVID thing. So thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, like the video first. Number one, most important, please like the video. That helps me immensely. Also, share the video if you really like the show. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. That helps a lot as well. That goes really far with YouTube. It helps us helps me to put shows up and get more attention on YouTube. Also, if you want to support the show financially, if you want to throw some money at the show, there's a couple of options for you. Bam, they're right above my head, right there. Look at that. Look at that. You can go to lennyschmidt.com/if you can. That's my website. You can Venmo me at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. And you can join my Patreon page, which I'll talk about later in the broadcast. You can do a monthly fee. You can pay as little as $1 on all of those options. If you enjoy the show, you enjoy the content, the interview, with the white noise, whatever you're doing with the show in the background, you can throw $1 at it, whatever you think it's worth. Just $1. It's simple. Just $1. You have an option between $1 and $10,000. There's an actual $10,000 button on my website. I'm not going to tell you how many people have used it. But it rhymes with the word zero. Anyway, please feel free to throw some money at the show. We'd appreciate it. We don't have any sponsors. The show is totally sponsored by and supported by all of the people that watch the show and some of the entertainers that have been on the show as well. So I can't thank you enough. So sit back, enjoy the show, enjoy today's episode, and we're going to start it right now. This is taped, but it won't be taped in a second. This is going to be live. Here we go. Enjoy the show. Thanks for being here. Take care. Hey, how about that for timing? That was horrible timing. Hey, what's everybody? Welcome. What's up, everybody? What's everybody? Hey, everybody. Hold on. I'm doing some sharing stuff here. Welcome to Lenny Schmidt's Quarantine Comedy. Let me fix my mic. Sorry, man. I'm home now. I'm just getting settled into the house. So I had to rehook everything up, which is, I always do this wrong. I always screw it up somehow. Let's do one more thing really quick. Hang on, look, see, you can see my face. Thanks for being here. So confusing. I always forget the plugging everything back in part. Here we go. I want to type something. I don't care. Whatever. There we go. Bam. I always forget the plugging everything in part. Yeah, I had everything with me mobile on the road, so I didn't have it with me. Wow, a lot of people are here. Holy cow. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, man. I apologize for being late to the draw. I got back in town yesterday and just hooked everything back up, so it always takes me longer the first day to hook things up. So, but look, I'm here, man. It's all good. I'm alive. Thanks. I'm back on the road. Thank all of you that came out and supported the live shows in both Wichita and Oklahoma City. I really appreciate that. Things went very well. Was very excited with the shows. Very lax on the COVID rules out there in Oklahoma City. Yeah, I guess they don't have COVID there anymore. That's what they're telling me. At least that's what they said. It was the only place I forgot masks every time I left the house. I don't know how I'm doing this because I live here in LA and you have to have a mask everywhere. You have to have a mask to do a lot of stuff. Well, whatever. Anyway, I forgot my mask everywhere. It seemed like I had to go back and get my mask all over the place, but it didn't matter. Everywhere you go, there's like a lot of people not wearing masks, man, in Oklahoma City. It was weird. It was very weird. The airport, though, I was bundled up. There was a couple next to me who had the most elaborate face. They looked like they were a SEAL team. I mean, I'm not kidding you. They had a mask with a filter, and then the filters here, and it was like belted around their head with buckles, like all up and down. I mean, they look like RoboCop with a plastic shield. You could just see their eyes. And the best part it was, and they were covered with gloves. I mean, they're totally covered head to toe. They were Asian couple, whatever you want to call me racist, fine, go ahead. But they were most people that travel, if you travel internationally, if you're traveling, if you're Asian, they always wear masks, and I made fun of them. I was like, that's stupid. And now look at me, I'm wearing a mask everywhere. But the people next to me, they were so wrapped up. The best thing was watching them talk to each other, talk to each other when they try to get a drink. You're like the flight attendant would come by and go, "Can I get you something?" And they'd be like, and then he'd go, "I'm sorry, what?" And then the husband would look at the wife. A lot of shrugging was going on, a lot of confusion, shrugging. And then every time the flight attendant would go, "Oh yeah, I got it," and then leave, and he didn't have it. And he would come back with something else for him, like a bowl of jelly. Nobody asked for jelly on a plane, but that's what they did. On this plane, they also had 2 huge dogs with them. These 2 huge giant dogs. I was surrounded by dogs in first class. By the way, I say first class not because I'm bragging, but because I used my last upgrade points, and no one wants to fly these days. So first class is pretty much open. So I got my seat. I was surrounded by dogs that never made a peep. I would have never known that. Usually I sit down with dogs. And I'm like, oh, man, this better go well. And I don't hate dogs. Anna always tells me, you hate dogs. I don't hate dogs. I'm just not particularly fond of dogs. Okay, I don't know if that sounds right. I don't know. You know what I mean? I never wanted a pet because I travel a lot. People always give me a hard time about that. They go, what's wrong with you? I go, why does that make me a bad person if I don't want an animal crawling all over me? I don't understand that, how that's bad. You know, like especially in LA, everybody has a dog and everybody's really big on dogs. And again, I don't hate them. They're great. I'll pet them. They're awesome. I just have no interest in owning a dog. I don't. You know, I don't want responsibility. I have 2 teenage daughters I'm responsible for. I can't keep up with them, let alone a dog. They just give them a bowl of food. You know what I mean? But it always gets me in LA. I'll be walking down the beach and so a dog will come up and they'll start licking me, and the owner will go, it's okay. He's friendly. And I'm like, I'm not friendly. Get your dog away from me. Why is it okay to lick me? And I'm supposed to go, ha, 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 ha. I don't understand why that's okay. I don't know, it's just me. But anyway, the dogs in the plane were fantastic. So it wasn't an issue. There are a lot of people here. I'm going to say hello to all of you now, man. I can't thank you guys enough for following the show when I traveled. Thank you. That was awesome. We did one live show, or a couple of live shows while I was gone, and then we had a tape show with Jill that was on Friday. I know a lot of you tuned into that. Thank you. Good evening. Hello, Larry. Good to see you, Larry. By the way, Larry, again, hit me on the Venmo. Thank you guys so much. Bam. If you're watching the show, look there right above my head. If you want to support the show in any way, shape, or form financially, please feel free to throw some money at the Venmo, Lenny Schmidt Comedy, or the website, LennySchmidt.com. If you can. You can go there if you can and support and donate as much money as you want. Only if you can. There's buttons for $1 too. You can do $1. I don't care. Just, if you enjoy this content and you're entertained, $1. Just $1. Pay whatever you. If you don't think it's worth $1, then go to my Venmo and tell me I owe you $1, and I'll pay $1. I don't give a shit. If you watch the whole show and you didn't like it, I will give you $1 someday. All right, let's see. Everybody's here. Right? Gar's here. Hey, Gar, good to see you. Hi, Rachel. Good to be here. I'm going to send a Patreon email out right after the show. Also, I will do a show Saturday night. Remember the show I did a few weeks ago before I went on the road? Yeah, I was trying to remember. Yeah, I got it down. Now let's do it this week when I got it all remembered. Yeah, it just took me 3 shows. I remembered everything. So we'll do a show this Saturday. It's a real life show. It's been a while. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. It's only been a week, jerk. I'm sorry. I didn't say jerk. I meant 5 days. It's only been 5 days. Hey, Donna, how are you? You're in an alias cover, I guess. Okay, Brenda, the Runions are here. Thank you very much. Good to be you. Yeah, Jeffrey Tobin. Is that story real? Is that a real story? I've seen it all day. It can't be a real story. I've seen that guy a million times on CNN. You can't tell me that guy's stupid enough to beat off on Zoom. You can't tell me that a CNN reporter is dumb enough to make that mistake. I really don't get that. Okay. I mean, I'm looking around all day, and it's like it's out there, and then it's not, and then it is, and it's not, and nobody's. Of course, CNN's not talking about it. They're not. Yeah, there's no way they're going to mention it. Although Fox has been. Hey, it's party time over at Fox. Are you kidding me? If it is a true story, what a terrible story. What a terrible time, too. You know what I mean? Because he's got a lot of work the next 6 weeks. That work is gone. If it's true, he's suspended from what I understand. For those of you that don't know, Jeffrey Tobin apparently was accused of exposing himself and masturbating on a Zoom call over at the CNN offices. And he's a big dude. Or a big name dude. Not big dude. That sounded weird after he said he was beating off. I don't know if that's correct. I didn't see the footage. So, blocked it out. What did you block out, Rachel? The Zoom thing? It's very possible. Zoom jerking. Thank you. Now there's all kinds of phrases for Zoom jerking going on, of course. It is real? I can't believe that's real, man. That just seems weird to me. You know what I mean? What the? Okay. All right. Whatever, man. In this day and age. This day and age. Oh, Vince Mulligan. Here come the dick jokes. Thanks, everyone. Feel free to jump on the dick joke bandwagon. Where's Keith Runyon? Usually that's right up his alley. I'm commenting on everybody that's here. Okay. All right. Let's get to work. Hi, Robin. Sorry, good to see you. Hi, everyone. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We have a lot of viewers tonight. I'm really impressed. I'm really happy that you guys are all here. Thank you very much. I think the sound is good. I think it might be off just a tad. See if that works. Check. All right, here we go. Folks, your first guest, your only guest, as always. He's a good friend of mine. We've worked together. I think we did 2 weeks together back-to-back on one of the No Issue shifts. But, of course, I'm getting texts now that I'm live. But we had a blast. He's great. He's very funny. I'm going to show you a clip of his stand-up. He's this type of stamp I love to see. I love to work with. He's very sarcastic, works the crowd a lot. He was fun to watch. He was fun to hang with all week. We really had a good time. But here's a clip. Let's see if I can get this clip played without screwing it up. This is my good friend, the one and only Mike Burton. Let's see if this works. Oh, man, let's try it. Oh, boy. I don't know.
This is cool. So I live in New York. I live here. I live in Manhattan. All right. A few? Yeah. I'm. What? I didn't hear what you said. 1%. 1%. Oh, you called back to him. Okay, good. Look at you, holding on with both hands. You are paying attention. You just have to say it more clear. You go, no. You can't do that. But I'm not 1%. I live in Manhattan, but I live way uptown. I live in Washington Heights. All right. Well, really? All right. Look. It's very Dominican. Okay? And I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm not. At all. And they pick up on it almost immediately. Like, I do a magic trick in my neighborhood to get out of trouble. And what I mean is, there's not a lot of white people in my neighborhood. So sometimes on the street, I'm the white guy. And sometimes that's a problem. Okay? So I do a magic trick to get out of trouble. And the magic trick is, I'm a white guy, but I can get whiter. And it's awesome. All right? Like, I'll do it for you. Like, you're like, how's he going to get whiter? Watch. All right? If you saw me on the street right now, you're like, there's a white guy. All right? Watch. Regular white guy. White guy. All right? Watch this. Whiter. I know.
All right, that's him right there, the one and only. Let's hear it from my good friend. Here he comes, Mr. Mike Burton. There he is. Mike Burton, look at him live.
There he is, the white guy.
The white guy. Hang on, man. I'm trying to move your title so it doesn't cover. It's covering your face. What's going on? Hold on. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm very good. Boom. I had to move your title. Okay. I'm good, man. Look, you got your own brick wall in your own house. I like that. You're hanging out of the comedy. I like it. Are you at your house?
Went out and bought it just like everybody else did because we thought we were going to be doing Zoom shows.
Sure.
So you go on Amazon and you find you a brick curtain, and there it is.
You're like, look at that. Now I'm somebody. Right on. Are you where you at? Are you at home?
I'm at home.
Okay.
Yeah. In New York, Jersey now.
Oh, that's right.
Have a house.
Yeah. Last time I saw you, you were just getting ready to buy the house, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about it? Yeah. You were moving out of the city. Right on. Good for you, man. Good timing.
So right? Now we're in. We have a, what do you call it? We have a driveway and a yard and stuff. Like living for real.
You are living for real, brother. How's it feel?
I couldn't be more suburban.
No, I don't think so. I think you got it covered. Hold on, let me see if I can get this right. How's it feel? How's it feel to be in the house?
I like it. I tell you, for the situation we're in for COVID, there's no better place to be. You're not stuck in an apartment building with a bunch of other people.
Dude, best time to get out of the city, man. Smart move.
Yeah, we did it early. I mean, this wasn't even a thought when we bought the house and moved in,
No, there was
but
no
it's worked
COVID when
out great.
no, there was no COVID when we worked together. It was a long time ago. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah. Well, you
But at
guys,
least you're working. You were out there. I did shows. I don't want to brag, but I was in Staten Island while you were in Oklahoma and Kansas or whatever.
I
I
don't
went
know.
all the way to Staten Island.
I don't know which one of us is bragging there in that scenario exactly. Staten Island, Staten
Did you have
Island.
an audience limit?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, they weren't sold out, but we were full to the capacity. So
Okay.
most of our shows were full in Wichita for sure. We were Oklahoma City. We were. It was light Saturday because Saturday was that part of the country is big college town. You know what I mean? So that day was the Oklahoma Texas game that went into 5 overtime. So
Oh yeah.
kind of stepped on our what do you call it? So apparently that affected Saturday, but the rest of the week was great. Then they're like, we can only take like 60% or whatever, which is perfect for me because I usually just draw 30. So I'm like, wow, that's great. My audience doubled. It was phenomenal. I asked for a raise.
I had a
Like,
show a couple of weeks ago in Jersey and New York. You can only have it's either 25 people or 25%, whatever that is. So I did one show in Jersey, and I guess it was 25%, which for that club was 25 people, and we couldn't get that. My Friday, I had 4 people. I don't want to
Wow.
say that I'm a draw, but 4 people, 2 couples.
I don't want to say. Now you're bragging.
They were the best 4 ever.
How much, dude? Some people are freaked out about going out, right? Going out. I think
They
going
are.
out
I think people
anywhere.
are still scared about leaving their house.
Yeah, we were going to do a Saturday early show. We were supposed to do a all family show. Like I decided to start to try to do one of those clean shows, when I go on the road. And we offered it, but we just didn't get any we probably didn't advertise it well enough either, but we didn't get a whole lot of hits for it. But yeah, a lot of families aren't going out anywhere. I think people and there's starting to be whatever the second wave thing is happening is kind of happening
Right.
now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so they're all afraid to go anywhere.
It's crazy. And I also did down south. I did Myrtle Beach.
I was going to
And,
ask you about that. That was a week or two ago, right? Caravan?
That was last week.
Right. Okay.
And they don't care at all.
Yeah, right. So that's great. That's
It
great.
seems like
That's awesome.
they're like, come on, what are you scared of? I'm like, I don't know, dying, I guess,
Yeah,
but
death.
what's life without risk?
Yeah.
I even said one night, I said at the show, I said, I really appreciate you guys coming out. I know it's weird and we're in a weird time, but I appreciate you guys being here. And it's a risk, but what's life without risk? And they all cheered. And I was like, I don't know that I meant to get a cheer on that, everybody, but okay.
I'll take it.
I thought it'd be like, ooh, but no, they're like, yay, we are out.
Yeah. I don't it was weird. It was my first time traveling going anywhere and went through the airport and I was buckled up in the airport good, bro. I wore I had this sleeve thing that you buy that you kind of wear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which they say that's not good enough. And I'm like, I agree. So I wore that and a mask. And so like I was kind of everywhere I went, I was doubled up. And and I had sanitizer with me, so I was really careful flying because I flew American and they don't care, man. They're just cramming people on every seat. You know what I mean?
Oh, they don't even take out the middle seat or leave
Oh
it empty.
no, not an American. They do not care. They were cramming people. So I was lucky on all the planes. I used up all of my upgrade points to get first class on all of the flights. So I was like, oh well, that's not bad at least, So I got to sit there. But some airports and some planes, people are all wrapped up. But when you get to Oklahoma City, man, and you get off and start walking through that airport, just that's where people look at you weird with a mask on. Where I stop to get a coffee.
Yeah.
Like, what's with the mask? What do you mean, dude? Are you okay? I don't know. You're gonna be that guy. I mean, I understand if you don't want to wear it, that's fine. But then don't give me shit for wearing it.
Yeah. It's a new thing, like the mask shaming.
Yeah, and I'm like, and no one's upset about it. I'm like, okay, I don't know who's winning this game. Who's winning this fight? You are? Okay, then you're
Right.
cooler than me. You're cooler than me by far. Now I'm gonna leave. You know what I mean? I don't care. So
They do. They look at me like I'm crazy sometimes. And I use my own mic. I bought this mic, so I take my own mic. So I just ask whoever came sing, just pop that out. Introduce me, pop it out. I'll pop mine in and try to do it as seamless as possible. And even that was like, really? Like,
yeah. I know. I do. I had to open. I had my own mic in Oklahoma City, and then when I went to Wichita, I told them the same thing. I'm going to set it up, and they go. And in Oklahoma City, they had 3 mic stands set up, so every comic had their own mic. It was kind of cool. So I just walked up and just grabbed my mic stand and went from there. But in Wichita, for some reason, I had to change the mic. I go, all right, I'll change the mic. It's no big deal. But then now the crowd starts giving you shit because you're changing the mic. And the crowd's like, oh, yeah, you're Mike. I mean, what are you worried about? I go, what do you think I'm worried about? I go, I don't know where these people have been. You know, and I don't want to say I'm sharing a condo with these people, but still, it's, you know what I mean? I want a different mic. So, but I only used the other mic for like a couple times because it was rattly. My new mic is rattly. I was a little disappointed. I had a brand new mic. Yeah, but it's brand new. I couldn't get it to work right. Whatever. It was all fine. But I used a different mic in Oklahoma City. Different states are more tough. I heard in Little Rock, because the Looney Bins, he also owns a Little Rock room. You can't be closer than 12 feet to the stage. You have to be at least 12 feet from the stage. So that's their rule there. So every state's got their own rule.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, the one I did, the Jersey that had 4 people on Friday night, but the owner had separate mics for each one of us, and he cleaned them, and then that was the mic you used for the weekend,
right?
And then he would clean them for whoever's coming in the next week, which was great. I thought it was great, but there are a lot of people, like you said, they're going, come on, what are you worried about? Everything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is weird to be in an enclosed place. You need those laughs, but apparently that's where like the air comes from. That's where you're expelling the whatever that is, the droplets. But you need those. You can't laugh with a mask on. I'm not doing a show with it, so it's definitely a weird thing.
Well, I don't know. I hope it all. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? From who knows? Do you have dates coming up? You have anything coming up?
I do a couple of one-nighters here and there. Out a couple of outdoor shows, which let's see if it stays warm enough to do those.
Oh yeah, because you're not exactly outdoor show area. Like we can get away with that over here. Yeah, over here we can do that forever. But you guys are gonna have to cut that off in a week or two, right?
We did, and we did it back in June and July when it was 100 degrees.
Oh yeah, so dude, nothing says comedy like 110 degrees and sweat. That sounds funny.
You know what's worse about that is I can deal with the heat and all that. By the time I got up, I was closing. And by the time I got up, the lights are on me. So I have bugs all over my face. I look like Jabba Chamberlain when he was in Cleveland. Do you remember that game?
Oh, yeah. They just showed the clip from that just a week or two ago.
That was me. Oh, trying to do comedy. I had one that went down my shirt. And I was like, come on, this is awful. But nobody else had it. But by the time I got up, I was the only thing in light, and bugs like light. So that was me.
All right, fair enough. I like it. Okay. Hold on. I'm having issues with the screen. Are you going to go back to ships when they come back?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm hoping they'll be as safe as they can. I mean, you have to be. I've been on them with the code red before, so.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. Dude, I think people, I keep saying this, everybody that complains about a ship and a cruise is someone that's never been on a ship or a cruise or someone that rarely goes. Like, if you go to a bunch, you realize, like, oh, wow, they're pretty safe. I mean, I always talk about the Nerovirus. You catch that from bumping into a wall. You know what I mean? That shit is scary. Right. And that'll spread across the room quick. It's just, or a ship fast. So they don't have many major outbreaks. They found a way to deal with that really quick. I think they're going to do the same here. So,
right.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's changing everything. It's like changing doing comedy, bring your own mic. This on a ship you can do that, but it'll change the buffets and how they do stuff like that. And I don't know, do you take half the chairs away from the pool area? I don't know how they're going to do that.
I don't know. Well, you know what, they're going to reinvent it as they go along. They keep changing the rules every other day because they're still learning stuff and figuring stuff out. I heard on the Royal ships now they're doing you can go to the pool, but you have to wear a mask to sunbathe. So people are complaining about that. And you're like, well, come on. You got to meet them halfway here somewhere at some point. You know what I mean? You got to go, okay, I guess I'll wear the mask or I won't, you know what I mean? Or whatever. It's got to got to be a middle ground. You know how cruisers are. Cruisers are like, what do you mean I can't have everything I want? And you got to go to people like, you can't have. There's a lot of people on the ship, sir, so I can't fit everyone in this room. But I'm a Diamond Ultra exclusive super power top line member. I have my guest number is 1A, and you're like, oh, all right, sir, you have to calm down. You know, they're spoiled. They want everything their own way. That was the only good thing was there was a ship in Italy where a bunch of people got off a ship, walked off, and said, we can do whatever we want. And they were supposed to follow these protocol rules. And they came back to the ship. They didn't follow them. They wouldn't let them back on the ship. And that was the greatest story I heard all week. I was like, that's the best. I go, you can't let these Diamond Club Ultra mega people walk around and do what they want. You know, they can't dictate what's going on in the ship. You got to follow the protocols, man. It's going to be important.
Was that recently?
It was just just in the last six weeks. The second cruise that went out on that MSC ship, the Carnival ones over in Europe.
Yeah.
The second cruise out of Italy lost a whole family had to get off because they wouldn't let them back on. They got off during an excursion, and you're supposed to be in the same excursion, and they just went off and did their own thing. And they just popped back to the ship and said, well, we wanted to go see the city. And they go, well, we told you couldn't do that. They go, yeah, but, we do it all the time. I go, yeah, and I'm sure you did before COVID and death and stuff like that, jerk. So can you follow our rules? Oh, yeah, we can follow them now. Well, it's too late now. Now we have to kick you off. There's no second chance with this either. That's the other thing. With these protocols and these rules and shit, there can't be a second, we'll let it slide. You can't let anything slide. You know what I mean? You can't. Right. If somebody doesn't have a mask or somebody comes in, they have a little fever, and they're like, I'm just going to go lay down. Oh, no, you're not. You're leaving. You're walking away from the ship. And as of now, in fact, I want an hazmat suit around this guy right now. You know what I mean? There's no looking the other way and letting people off on a technicality. One screw up and they got to be out.
Good luck. Good luck getting home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I read there's a whole new insurance policy thing they're trying to cover and all this stuff, but I'm just encouraged with the fact that the cruise lines is standing behind the protocols. They're smart enough to know that, dude, if you let 4 people get on the ship that might be infected, that whole ship is, or 40 people are going to be infected in about 8 hours. And before you know it, it's another, right. You know what I mean? So I think the ships are being smart with the protocols going and just telling the guests, but I think the glitch is going to be after a few weeks of the guests on the ship. And they're like, and you walk to a guest, on promenade. You're like, hey, you got to put your mask on. Why? I don't get why. Why? I'm from America. And you're like, dude, don't be that guy. Put on a mask. If you want to cruise,
we're gonna have plenty of those guys.
No, yeah. If you want to cruise, follow these rules. It's a handful of rules. It's like if you take a corporate gig. I hate corporate gigs. I hate them. They suck. They're the worst gigs ever. I'm not a big fan of doing a corporate gig. I don't like it. So I charge a lot of money for them, hoping they'll say no. Yes. You know what I mean? And they go no, and then every once in a while they go yes, and I go shit, and then I have to do the corporate gig. But
yeah.
I took it. You know what I mean? I got to follow their rules. And it says if I got to mention Aunt Martha every 8 minutes, and I got to mention Aunt Martha every 8 minutes, no matter how stupid it is, you got to follow whatever rule you accept. Yeah.
Yeah. When you take it, that's the gig. I mean, you know it going in. It's not a surprise. If we book it one way and then I show up and now there's rules and surprises, then I have a problem. But if you go in knowing it, then we all know it.
Yeah, tell me day of. Like there's a club in Chicago, Sinise's Winery, is around for years, and I worked there for a long time. Bill Brady booked it. It's actually, let me get this right because he'll get mad at me. Bill Brady's Barrel of Laughs inside Sinise's Winery. So there we go. The restaurant was Sinise's, Bill's place is that. But Bill's notoriously famous for you couldn't say the F word. You had to be clean. You couldn't say the F word, which was amazing with some of the other things that people got away with in that room. But for some reason, the F word was the little thing you couldn't do. But that was the rule, right? It was like, okay. So every time I did the gig, I didn't say the F word. Or I would accidentally say it and catch it. And the crowd was in on it. They all knew. They would, ooh, everybody would know. And if you did mess up and say it, you'd get off stage and Bill would say, you said the F word 2 times or 3 times or whatever. And some guy came in to do it one day. This is actually a pretty good story. I can't remember the comic's name. He's out in New York. Damn it. I wish I could remember his name. All right, I'm going to tell the story. I'm not going to take all your time, but I'm going to tell this story because this is a good story.
I want it.
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. You can write it down. It's yours now. Okay. I used to live across the street from Sinise's Winery, and I go across the street one day, and this is right around the time when Andrew Dice Clay was huge. Okay, so this should tell you something. All right, for pretty much 80% of the comics working, we're all wearing leather, and they're all doing stupid rhymes, and they're all swearing, and you're like, I get it, Miss Muffet, I understand. You're funny, you're clever. So, but every comic had their version of being the truth. You know what I mean? I love this is my version of the truth. You can't censor me. You know those idiots. Anyway, this guy shows up at the show. And he tells him, Bill tells everyone you book it, no, you can't say the F word. And he gets there, and the guy gets here, he's sitting next to me, and I'm not working. I'm off. I'm watching it from my buddy Kevin Naughton's working. Kevin Naughton's featuring. And the way the room is situated, I'm sitting back in the corner. I could watch the show on the monitor when the show was going on behind me, and I was closer to the bar because that's how I roll. So I'm sitting there, and this guy comes up to me and goes, hey, we can't say the F word? I go, yeah, don't tell me Bill didn't tell you that, because that's like the first thing he tells everyone. He's like, no, I knew it. I just thought, I didn't think he was serious. I go, okay. All right. So I'm like, all right, well, good luck. Have a good set, right? So many guys during that Dice Clay time couldn't work anywhere if you couldn't swear. They were dead. There was no way to, you know what I mean? So he goes on stage, and it is not pretty. I mean, it's bad pretty. It's bad. It's ugly bad. He's headlining. He's closing the room. Kevin went up, had a great set. I'm in the back of the room watching the monitor with Kevin. This guy is eating it hard and getting booed, and people are yelling at him. I mean, it's the worst I've seen ever. Yeah. And I look at Kevin sitting next to me. I go, dude, this guy's going to snap. Kevin goes, you think so? I go, absolutely. This guy 100% is going to just snap and lose it on the crowd. This is going to be the best. This is going to be epic. This is going to be awesome. And right around that time, Bill walks up to me and goes, hey, do you want to go up and do some time? I go, fuck you. Why would I want to go up and do time? I go, the crowd is throwing shit at the stage. There's no way. He's like, no, I really need you to bail me out here, man. I'm pretty sure this isn't going to go well. I go, it's not going to go well. It's going to get worse. And he goes, all right, well, then I'll take him off and bring you on. I go, fine, whenever you need me. And right about then, the guy snaps. And he's like, F you, F Chicago, F the South Side, F blue-collar people, F you. I'm sorry, I don't work. I'm not a plumber. I'm not a pipe fitter. You know, it's just this hardcore South Side Chicago. And people are standing up now at this point going, what, you know, they're staring at the guy. They're throwing things at him. It's bad. He leaves out the front door. Bill walks up. People are screaming. He goes, okay, everybody calm down. I got a guy from here's a guy from Chicago. We got it for Lenny Schmidts. I walk up to just anger and venom and it was just pissed off. And I opened up with, hey. I go, I'm from the big bad South Side of Chicago, so don't throw shit at me. And it was a cakewalk. I did like an hour. It was like one of the best shows I ever did. And the funniest moment was the end of the show. We're sitting at the bar. And I'm drinking, and the guy sitting next to me who ate it, he just didn't even look at me. He goes, well, you had a good night. I'm like, yeah. Yes, I did. Sorry, that's a very long story. It took up most of that time. But that was the deal, though. If you agree to take, dude, you've been doing this a long time. How long have you been doing stand-up? 20-something years? 25?
Yeah, 25.
Yeah. Yeah, you take a gig. Everybody bitches about a gig when they take it. They're an idiot. You know what I mean? If you know your limitations and then say no. No's a great word, dude. Doesn't it feel great sometimes to just go, you know what? No, I'm not doing that gig.
It's the best.
Oh, it's the coolest ever. Because I remember when I had to take every
gig.
You
want to come down here and do an hour and a half for pennies? No.
No. Why would I?
Don't.
And they bring up that exposure
you should call
word.
Me in 97.
I know. Dude, hang on. Let me check my 97 calendar. See if I open a weekend in 97. I can throw in.
When is this gig? In 1997, I'm there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Drive 5 hours. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but now it was really funny when all this started too with the Zoom stuff and everything got all turned upside down, and people started doing these Zoom and streaming shows and stuff. And I got hit with, it'll help your social media, and I kept going, no, it doesn't. It never does. For me, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a handful of followers here and there. I haven't figured out that Dane Cook mother load of being bing, wow, 9 million followers. I don't know how these people do this. Right. I can't, I'm not that guy. Everything I do, and dude, I'm online all day sharing shit, tagging stuff, it's ridiculous how much work I put into the social media. And like, I just now put up a thing on my Facebook this week pleading people to join my please subscribe to my, it just sounds sadder the more you do it. You know what I mean?
It's tough, man. And I'm not good at the Zoom shows. That's why I bought this.
I was going to ask you, dude, because you're so quick and off the cuff with the crowd. So a Zoom show has got to change your timing completely.
It's not good. I've tried it sitting down and I've tried it standing up in front of this. And I did one. The first one I did, it went better than expected. But it was that first time you do an open mic, your very first time on stage, and it's that fool's gold where it goes well. You're like, all right, okay. And then the next time, I tanked hard. And you're just watching faces on the screen not laugh. Each one's going black. And they're all leaving. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is exactly what I expected it to be. All right. Yeah. Now I understand. Yep, this is it. Dude, and you still
That's so you just see
You get
click,
paid
click, click, delete, delete,
Yeah,
delete.
you just see them walk out one after the other. You're just walking the crowd, but it's just you're still sitting there in your own room.
That's the worst. Dude, at least when you walk a room at a club, you don't notice till the lights come up, kind of. You know what I mean? You know, like you lose some people,
Yeah,
the lights come up, you go, ooh, geez, I lost like 30% of the crowd. That's not good, right? But on Zoom.
Right, but during the show, at least you think, okay, maybe a couple of people went to the bathroom. You see a shadow here and there. You don't see everybody.
Yeah.
But this one, your screen just goes darker and darker and fewer faces, and done. Then it's just you and the comics. The guy who booked you's over on the side, like shaking his head.
Terrible mistake.
Going, I don't think that's funny. And I was like, oh, it usually works live.
Dude, I love the funniest line of that is you're sitting in your room. That's the worst part is in your own room. You're eating it in your own room and the lights are going off. You know what I mean? You're just sitting there alone. The only solace is that like I'm a foot and a half away from my bed, so I can just roll off this chair into fetal position and just lay there and go, I remember when I used to be somebody. I remember.
That one where I bombed, I had to go downstairs. My wife and son are in the living room watching TV. They go, how was that? I go, well, I'm drinking now. So not good. I don't normally drink this late at night, but here we go. Let's get over that.
That's all right, dude. I did a sketch show online a few weeks ago too, where a bunch of my friends watched it, and I could tell the people that didn't like it because a lot of people, everybody's being very supportive, and I tried some different stuff, some sketches, but there were a couple of people like, "What did you think of the show?" Like, dude, yeah, we saw the whole thing. I go, how was it? They go, yeah, we saw the whole thing. That's the response. That's not good. You know what I mean? That's not good at all.
That's the old man. You were up there.
Yeah,
you were up there, and lights were on. It was like doing a show.
Dude, there was air conditioning on. There were people here and stuff. This was solid. This was a show.
You don't feel comfortable on stage.
Dude, your presence. I used to get that a lot when I was younger and had no material. You're like, dude, you have great stage presence. I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
After a while, I'm like, that really means I need to write more. That's what that line means.
That's right. Hey, speaking of writing, when you go out, are you doing a lot of new stuff? Because I find it hard because there's no place to work out stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so sporadic now. It feels like I'm working that I don't feel comfortable enough throwing in a new one that it's not tried at all. It's not, I haven't even said it out loud at an open mic or anything yet.
I do. I snuck a few in over this week and last week. Not a lot, man. Very little. I'll be honest with you. The first thing I did was I tried to remember most of my stuff because I had 2 weeks of headlining coming up, and I was really worried. And by the second show, honestly, I had it down. I'm like, wow, that was quick. I didn't realize I'd have it back that quick. And by the fourth show, I was rotating shows already. I was going through, like, I was doing 20 minutes of different chunks of stuff in different shows. I was really trying to just remember shit. I didn't want to forget everything. And I snuck in new stuff, but I opened with a bunch of, I just traveled for the first time, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I did, that's always my mistake, by the way. I always open with new shit just because I'm an idiot. You know, that's not a good move, but I do it a lot. I'm like, hey, here's some stuff that's not tested for 6 minutes. Let's try that before I try the stuff that works really well.
Something that might not work. Let's dig out of a hole.
Yeah, here's something I haven't said out loud ever, by the way, let alone an open mic or a Zoom show. But the only line I got, I think that was kind of good out of it was I go, I got to listen to the tapes. But my favorite one so far was have you sneezed in public yet? That's dangerous. Be careful. If you're at like a drugstore, you're like, achoo, back off. I'll cut you. It's a sneeze. It's allergies. Don't look at me that way. I think there's other stuff happens. I'll have to see. But that's it.
I almost had to do that to a lady today. That's hilarious. I went to a golf range to hit a bucket.
Yeah.
And this woman comes in. She goes, are you almost done? This little Asian woman. And I go, get away from me. Walk away. And she goes, are you almost done? And I go, you're still here. Move away. Get away from me. And it was in my head, just start coughing. Just start coughing right now. Just get her away.
Why are people near me?
She put clubs in there. I'm still packing up my stuff. She put clubs in. It's not like there was a line.
Well, don't you guys have like a rule? And there's a 6-foot rule or something? Everywhere you go's got a rule now in those places. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are divided really well. Like it's as safe as you can. When you're in your little space. Yes.
Yeah.
But they're all separate. Some of them only have like a little barrier. These big wall barrier. You're going to walk in there. I've never had that happen. I almost took her clubs that she put in there.
I've never had that happen pre-COVID. You know what I mean? You wait till they're done with the platform, and then you take the space. It's like a batting cage. It's the same thing.
Never had it.
Done, you rotate. Yeah, right. Guess she was in a hurry.
I've never had somebody walk in.
Maybe she had somewhere to go.
Start setting up. Walk to the second floor, idiot. I was so mad. I walked out of there. I'm like, I don't even use my 6-iron. I could have hit her with a 6-iron. What do I care?
Yeah. You can use it for something. Now you can write it off. I did. I actually used the 6-iron.
I can use a 6-iron. Now it has a use.
Now I see what makes it work. That's fantastic. So where what's you and your wife, man? Are you guys locked down together? Is she working? Is she getting out? What's going on? I can't remember what your wife does for a living.
She works. She's a dental hygienist.
Oh wow.
So she was
how's that going?
For a long time.
Yeah.
We were both here together, and then as things opened up, she went back. But it's hard because I mean, that's a job. Like we both have jobs where you can't do it from home, really.
Yeah.
So you have to work with somebody. You're in the mouth where all the germs are kept.
Yeah.
And so she's full, like you were saying, like full garb, everything.
Yeah.
Gloves on, tape around the arms, the footies, the everything. Don't get anything. Like Dustin Hoffman in Outbreak, like the big yellow suit. Like it just.
Sure.
So, and it's still hard. And now you have all that on and you have to do like delicate work on people's mouths.
Right.
So it's tough, man. It's a hard thing. But yeah, she's going to work. The boy going to college, but he's remote learning. So now he's home. He was there for a week. He was going to Coastal Carolina, which is why I booked Myrtle Beach. So he's in Coastal Carolina.
Did you drive him there?
Or he was there for a week.
Okay.
And I brought him home because they couldn't do anything.
Right.
They're going to remote learn either there or here. And if he's in the house, then I don't have to pay for room and board down there.
Yeah, colleges are having a big problem with all this stuff right now because
it's tough, man. It's tough. It's hard to stay motivated. How do you stay motivated? I wouldn't be able to do it.
I know. Well, my daughter's having trouble with that, man. Dude, last year was the best year ever. First year of college, she was all happy living here. I mean, she's really had a nice little momentum going. And then everything just got flipped upside down. And I had to talk with her the other day. She's like, yeah, I hate school. I just hate it now. She goes, I hate it.
Yeah.
I do it from the kitchen table. It's stupid. And I go, I know. I'm sorry. I get it. What do you say, though? You know what I mean? Is he now he's remote learning there, right, at your place? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay. See, she doesn't even have classes. She has one Zoom class, but everything else is task orientated. So the instructors are so they're giving them a list of tasks. So they don't sit in on a lecture anymore. They just have a list of shit they're supposed to do.
Right. Same type of thing.
Which is even harder.
Some classes are.
It's even harder for motivation, though. You know what I mean? Because then now you have a to-do list. Nobody likes a to-do list. You know, everybody's got one. Everybody blows it off. You know what I'm saying? If it's just a list of shit you got to do, you're like, all right, I'll get to it, whatever. You know, but at least the school generates you and motivates your mind a little bit to think. You know, if you're listening to a lecture, hopefully you're getting a little motivated with some of the subjects you're following, you know?
Right. And if you don't like it, you have other kids that are there. That was our thought. When we took him down to school, the thought was at least you'll be surrounded by everybody in the same boat. Right. So you commiserate with them. You study with them. Everybody has, like, whatever classes are online, everyone has to do it online. And if you are able to be in person, then you have some people in person. But it became nothing was in person. And you couldn't, if you went to you couldn't hang out. There's no college experience. So you go to the cafeteria, you get it, you go right back to your room.
Yeah.
You can't, you're wearing a mask everywhere. How are you going to meet anybody with a mask on? Nice eyes. You too.
What are you looking at? Anything right now, actually. Just anything. I'm just trying to, I apologize. I didn't mean to set you off. But, yeah, most of my friends who have kids in college, plus it's that much more expensive to send them there for room and board and everything else, and then they can't go anywhere. Like, two of my friends down the street, they're like, what's the point of even, I have a friend's kid goes to Stanford, and she recently was like, well, I'm coming home. This is stupid. Why would I go up there and stay in the dorm? if you can't. And then there's a list of rules. You know, like you said, there's a bunch of stuff you can't do.
Yeah. And since he's home, he can, once he's done with his classes, if he's done his work or whatever, he can go out with his friends that are also remote learning at whatever college it is they're going to.
Right.
So he'll be done, and then he'll go meet friends and go play basketball or go to a mall or whatever. Whether when he was on campus, you could really only be in your room.
Right.
I was like, well,
yeah. What's the point of that?
Dude,
you're flying there to be in prison. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's horrible. Why would you do that?
But that is the reason I booked the show in Myrtle Beach, and then I didn't cancel it when he came home. I was like, I'll just keep that gig and see if you don't know if it's going to cancel or not when you book it a couple of months out. But I was going to get the visit and go see him, and I was like, well, I guess I'm still going down there. All right. Well, yeah, see ya.
Dude. Well, you did go down there. You went down there. You played the week, right? You said they don't care down there.
Right.
Ugh. I just booked some stuff. I booked some stuff yesterday that I can't mention yet because they were told me specifically not to mention it because they didn't get the final approval yet for the advertising. But they're booking now. Some clubs are doing that. They're booking, and they're going, what do you have open? And I'll be like, okay, well, here's what I have open. Pretty much everything. I have pretty much everything open. I don't have, I just lost my last 3 weeks of ship work. Just went down last week or the week before. And I'm like, okay, so I'm wide open. We're sure? And I confirmed it. So, but anyway, clubs are starting to book, but they're doing the whole, well, you're going to get prorated, less shows, blah, blah, blah. So, but they're trying to, at least they're opening up. At least they're moving in that direction. At least they're trying. And so I did book a couple things. I'll know more about it in a couple of days as long as everything gets approved. Have you said you've done outdoor shows yet?
I did.
How is that going with working the crowd? Do you work them? Are they sitting in cars or are they spread on chairs and spread out?
I haven't done that. I haven't done the drive-in yet. This was out in a field, and they thought they would have 70 people, and they had 180 people, and it was great. Nice. That was my first show back. Okay. That was the first one I did 5 months out, and that was the Knock the Rust Off show.
Right.
Where that's where the bugs were all over me, but I was so in my head that I couldn't play a lot trying to remember the bits.
Right,
Same thing, you know? Yeah. And there were bits where I went into it, I was like, I don't know how this joke goes. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, there it is. Okay. All right. There's a punchline somewhere.
Yeah.
But there were times where I was sweating a little bit going, I don't know how I'm going to end this one.
Well, dude, I did some of these Zoom shows I did just to try to remember bits because I did one about 2 months ago and couldn't remember like 2 bits. There was one bit that the crowd actually helped me because I have like Patreon members that follow me, and I forgot this gorilla bit. I used to close with this gorilla bit all the time, and I forgot it. And I had people literally zooming me through it. I'm like, oh, you're right. Okay, and then this thing with the stick, and okay, I got it. You know what I mean? But there's just a bunch of stuff I couldn't remember. But there were a couple I did last week where I started, and I don't know I think it's a muscle memory thing where once I got into the habit of doing bits and thinking, it was easier for me to start a bit I wasn't even sure of, and then was able to remember it. Because you know, like when you're working a lot and you're say you're on a shift, you do a bunch of shows in a row, and you're clicking. I mean, you're so in touch with your material, and especially a guy like you that's quick off the crowd, back and forth, in and out of material, and that sets you up and back to a guy, and then you stop. You know what I mean? You're constantly moving and thinking around. So you got to trust yourself that you're going to get there. So if you just, it's almost instinct to react and say a line and know you're going to get back to that bit or whatever, because something will happen. Oh, this will go in good with this, and I'll do this and this. So it took me about three or four shows to get there, because the Zoom shows I could not make that connection. The Zoom shows I would just go, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I would stand there like an idiot, just going, I don't know where to go from here.
It's weird. It's weird, and it's all choppy. Nothing like this is not where this joke goes at all. It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But it was the one that came into my head, so that's what you guys get.
Yeah, right. And well, you got to constantly, you're recreating your format. It's, what are you going to do? It's your only, you know what I mean? It's either that or sit around and not do anything. I mean, I know some guys aren't doing any Zoom shows. I mean, I do now I do them and kind of play with them. And I'll do one this coming Saturday based on, I wanted to do one before I went on the road and then after. Because the one before was me trying to remember shit for 43 minutes, And now the one after, I think I can do an actual hour and I'll feel pretty good about it. So, I don't know.
Wow. You're doing hour Zoom?
I will see. We'll see this week. I was doing in Wichita. We were doing. I did 55-minute shows in Wichita, but I rotated material so much that there was stuff in and out. You know what I mean? I really got back quick. I got back. I have a lot of crap. You know, when doing the ships, you have a lot of different shows. Good, clean show, blue show.
Right.
So I got a lot of material, and it just started to all come back once I started. You know why? Because I didn't just do one show, and then repeat it once. I remember when I used to go out. When I lived in LA early on and I was acting a lot, I would go out on the road and do 2 weeks of clubs. I'd get a show down and I'd go, okay, well, this is the run. This is what I'm doing for the next 2 or 3 weeks. And I would pretty much stay pretty close to that. And I didn't do that this time. I tried to move stuff in and out. And the more I did it, it seemed like my brain just kind of picked back up to going, oh, this is what we're doing again. Oh, look, we're doing this again. And it felt pretty good after a couple of days. I didn't think I'd get there. I didn't think I'd get there at all. I thought it would take me 2 weeks to remember, and anything more than the one show, but I picked it up pretty quickly. And then Wichita, there was early show Saturday. There was stuff I brought up that I didn't do for 2 weeks that I was remembering. So I don't know. I got lucky. It could have been my mind being desperate.
That's great.
We'll see.
It's tough. It's kind of like the two schools of thought. I like to switch it up, but at the same time, if I'm doing, like, say you're doing 9 shows in a row. Like if you're headlining like 9 shows in a row, there gets to a point where that 4, 5, and 6 show, I don't know if I've said it already, especially if a joke doesn't get the laugh that you expect it to get.
Right.
And in your head, like, oh shit, did I already say that? Oh, and that's not good. You don't want to do that. The audience hates that. And then and so being scripted, or at least kind of knowing this is how this set goes, you know where you are within that set.
Right.
So you know that you haven't done it yet. I'm not even to that point. I couldn't have done this joke yet.
Right.
So I like to play around, but there's definitely times where I'm like, oh, I don't know where I am.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. Where did I go? Well, from an egotistic point of view too, the Saturday night especially was like, I was working on some new stuff and stuff. And then at one point I'm like, man, I just want to go up there and I just want to do a show. I just want to have fun for an hour because God only knows when my next show is going to be live. I remember thinking that going into Saturday. So I was like, I'm just going to go up there and I'm going to do whatever I want to do for an hour. And I just kind of bounced around and didn't focus too much on new stuff. You know, I focused on new stuff early on, but after a while I just wanted to have fun. Man, it's been so many months of not doing shows. I've done one live show in June since March, and that was it. And now I don't know when I'll be back out. So, but I mean, it was good. It was nice to be able to get up on stage and have people in a room.
Yeah. Doing that live show. I did weekend out in Long Island. They opened. This club went above and beyond setting up their club for COVID, to where the fire marshal came in, said, you don't have to do all this. And they're like, nope, we're doing it. Yeah, they put plexiglass around the stage. They have this light that kills everything after the show, before the next show. Had to wear a mask if you were walking around. I think that's pretty much
I heard about that light thing, dude. I heard about that light thing. They're supposed to be doing that on,
it was pretty amazing.
On Royal.
That plexiglass around the stage, it's a great idea, but then with the lights, you get a reflection. So you're performing in a mirror that's a foot away from you.
Oh, no.
Watching yourself perform for 45.
Oh, no way. I didn't think about that. Oh, dude, that's got to be brutal.
It was. The first night was really awkward. The second night I was like, all right, I'm used to this. But if I was trying to talk to the audience, I would have to look around my reflection to see them. And it had to look weird to them. It felt weird to me. And I was like, I can't see you guys. I know you're right. Oh, okay. There you are. All right. It was the weirdest thing. But so you were performing live, but you were still that lack of intimacy.
Yeah.
That comics like. I want to be in there. I want to look right at you and talk to you and have a conversation. And some of that was still lacking in that environment. But as far as setting it up for everybody to be safe, it couldn't have been better.
Yeah. Well, I guess I hope that's not the future of comedy, though. That would suck if we're stuck in a little. You know what I mean? I can't. That whole blues. I'd rather have the Blues Brothers chicken wire. I'd live with that. That's fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine. It's just you feel like you're in a little.
Did you steam up the? Did you steam up the glass sometimes?
No,
I was gonna say,
no.
where's your
I
constantly?
guess it was open on the bottom by a foot. Like there's air,
There's got to
and
be
you
air.
walk around the side to come in, but you were enclosed. You were basically enclosed.
Was it around the whole stage, the entire stage? So they let you in?
It was. You had like a little opening where you could get in between the wall and the plexiglass, and then there was a table and stool in there, but you were basically in a little room. It was like a little sound room.
This is the worst.
And it was like, all right, okay, let's just do this. But again, you were performing live, and you were finally doing a show, and so there's no complaining. It's just this is what we're doing. If you want to do it, we're in. Hey, man, we're in.
Yeah, right. Let's do this. Right. That's got to be, man. You're about 4 inches away from a Harry Houdini trick there. You know what I mean? They just close that thing up. Let's see. I've got.
I'm in a box. We're in a box.
I have 18 minutes to tell jokes and try to get out of here live. See if I can do it. See if I can pull it off. Oh, that's creepy. That's just creepy and weird. Okay. All right. Well, dude, that's what do you? Oh, I want to ask you this as I started my way through that. You have a dry bar special out. Is that correct? What's the name of the dry bar special?
I Can Get Whiter.
Is that the actual name of it? I Can Get Whiter. Is that the name of it? Now, is that the one? Is that your name or the one they changed it to? Because they recently changed a bunch of them.
No, that's mine. We came up with that one, and they left it.
Oh, good. Well, how could you? There's no way you could top that. I don't think. You get whiter.
They asked me, and I said, "What about this?" And they said, "All right, I like that."
Well,
and
that's
I said,
perfect.
"All right."
Is it? How long has that been out? Dude, you got a lot of views. 6 months, bro. Right? Is that right? 6 months? Am I correct?
No, it's been a little over a year.
Oh, okay. I'm reading the wrong one.
Yeah. It's when it first comes out, you're like, look at all these, and then it just kind of stays. And you go, all right, I got those.
Right. Yeah, but it says here, yeah, dude, your full special says you got over 500,000 views. That's great, right?
It's nice. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And the clips that they put out on Facebook get like 5 million views or whatever those get. Right. When they break it down, and it is pretty cool to see it, but it's not when you see somebody like 5 million views and all that, you think, oh man, this is great, but there's nobody stopping me in an airport.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, are you that guy? That doesn't happen.
Well, dude, the still views on the internet are different now, man. There was one of the guys on the dry bar head over. He's got a lot, 2-3 million views. And I wasn't talking to him, but a friend of mine was talking to him, and he said, well, I'm going to go in and book a gig off the strength of those views. I'm going to go in, and I've got 3 million hits on YouTube, and they plug the show, and they do the whole thing. And he was like, dude, it's like a regular week. I thought I was going to draw heavy. I thought I was going to pull a lot of people. He goes, it just didn't translate to box office like you think it should, like TV or movie does. You know, like if you're on a TV show or something, everybody sees it and remembers. The problem, I think, is that it's such a niche-orientated thing. Is that even though it's, and then you got to think about the retention. If there's 3 million views, how many of those watch for more than 3 minutes? And it's a whole different rating system now. You know what I mean?
I didn't go into it with that thought. I mean, it'd be nice, of course, but I think guys did think that they were going to be like a YouTube sensation, and it was going to help them book and blow up and get door deals and all this. And it doesn't translate. But I didn't think that it would. Right. But it's also old guys like us that like, I could be a YouTube sensation. And like, I'll be better than a cat video. No, you won't.
No, yeah, not really. No, I think I pay attention.
4 people on a Friday. That's what that does for you.
That should be the name of your next show, 4 People on Friday. 4 people live.
Actually, I read the comments. There's you read the comments on the dry bar clips and stuff. Yeah. And they go, don't read the comments. Of course I'm reading the comments. I love the comments.
Yeah, who's not?
And I scroll for the bad ones. Oh, they're hilarious. There's
do you really?
One guy. Yeah. What'd he say? Smug prick, not funny.
Oh,
and
wow.
Like, now that's the name of my next special.
Smug prick. I like. Okay, that's reasonable. You should do that for your family show.
Yes. Yeah. That's the way I'm going to book it on Carnival next time. Smug prick, not funny. We're going to see that at 7.
Yeah, that'd be great. Are there tickets available?
Who
For
needs to
Smug
see is
Prick Not
11 o'clock? That's Smug Prick Not Funny. That's a good one.
Now, is he a plexiglass cube or is he standing free on the stage? What's happening tonight? Oh, I don't know. I think he's in a plexiglass cube, sir. Okay, we're in. I think we'll be there.
They should actually put those up on Carnival no matter what, with or without COVID.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I work for Carnival a lot. Well, I used to. I don't really know.
I used to too. I started working for them. I was booking a bunch of stuff and nothing. But you know what? I enjoyed those crowds a lot. They were fun, and it was had a really good time on those ships. I know people give them a hard time, but they were great. The audiences are great.
Yeah, I had fun. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm sure they're all going to launch up again someday. So, who knows? Who knows? What are you doing until then?
2024.
Do you have? Don't say that. I don't know if I can make it that long. My only hope is a lot of people are quitting over the next year or two, and they're going, "I'm out." And then when they need people, I'm like, "I'm ready. I'm here." I'm trying to be aware of all my material, so I have stuff. They can throw me in anywhere, but who knows? I don't.
My wife was asking me, like, if you get on a ship, who's going to take a ship? Like, all the rednecks in South Carolina that I just performed for.
Sure.
That think it's a hoax. I'm fine with that. Let them get on.
There are tons of people that will be on a ship. You know what's funny is my kids ask me constantly, I go, because I had heard from Carnival in Norwegian a few weeks ago. They were talking different things about protocols and stuff. And they asked me about avails. And I told the girls, I go, hey, yeah, I talked to Carnival about avails. They go, oh, that'd be great. When you get back on ships, when can you take us, do you think? And I'm like, hey, how about we work on getting me on a ship first? And we'll worry about getting you guys on a ship later. Because Daddy needs to pay the bills. And it's really, you're adorable at 16 that already wants to go back to Mexico. But let's take it down a notch. Let's slow down and just wait. You greedy little.
Can't wait to get back to Senor Frogs.
Yeah, come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Shut up. Don't come on, Dad. Not cool. So what are your quarantine rules there, brother? What were you in quarantine with the wife and the son before he went back to college? Was that the deal during the heavy part? How'd it go?
We were pretty good about it all summer. I built a gym in the house, so I don't have to go anywhere, and I can still do something. Oh, nice. I did the rower. I started doing a rower on the ships, and so I bought a rower, got some weights and stuff like that, just so you feel like you're doing something.
Good.
And we were pretty good about it. Again, it was way easier being in the house than it would have been in an apartment building.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, we were in an apartment, but if you had a house, you had almost like your own bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, bubble in.
Yeah, and then you could cook out in the backyard. You know what I mean? You could live like a human being somewhat. You know?
Right. Yeah. Especially during the summer, go out there, lay out, have the dog.
That's great. You know, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It makes it a ton easier.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, we don't really I don't have rules necessarily. I mean, we don't have a lot of people over. We had a couple that came over yesterday that are friends of ours. But we're not those big partiers. If you see New Jersey on the news for a big 5,000 people party, that's not us.
Right. No. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy crowd stuff. They changed the rules in California here again this week, actually. Because now it's the family get-togethers that are a problem. So the rule is no more than you can be family, but no more from 3 different households. You know what I mean? So if you come from a different house, so if your mom comes and then your uncle comes, that's it. That's just the 3 households that are in the house. Right. And there shouldn't be more than I can't remember. They said 8 people. Oh, it shouldn't be less than 3 hours long. I don't know why that matters. I really think in California they just make up rules sometimes to try to figure out what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? I'm all for it. Right. I'm following the rules because I understand. You know, but I think every once in a while, all right, everyone needs to wear a tinfoil hat for a week. I'm like, oh, okay, tinfoil hat. How is that supposed to help us? I don't know, but we read somewhere that it's possibly like, all right, whatever, I'll do it. But there's always some sort of weird rule that doesn't seem to make sense, and then there's other rules that make total sense. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right,
yeah.
And
they don't help. You're not helping when it's a weird rule. Just to have a rule. Yeah, you're not helping anybody.
I swear to God, people are only following the rules to be convenient. When I was flying out to Oklahoma, I flew through Dallas, and I got on. Dallas has that shuttle from one terminal to another. You know what I mean? Where you get the train or the A train or whatever, and the speed train. So I get on the train, and it's me and another woman, and we're both standing. We're about 6 feet away. We pull up to we got our masks on, everything's cool. We pull up to the next terminal, doors open, boom, flood, and the place, we're packed. We're stuck back in this thing. I look at her, she looks at me. She's like, guess we're not doing social distancing here in Dallas. I go, I guess not, apparently. And we couldn't do anything. These people just ran in the thing, and nobody cares. Nobody's going to wait for another train. They're going to get on the train now. And so they were cramped. So the next terminal, I got off. I'm like, all right, I'll walk. It's not that big a deal. I'll walk. I really didn't expect 30 people to get on the train. But they came in no qualms, man. Yeah. How you doing? What's up? What's going on? And I'm like, okay, this is safe. Fantastic. Jerks.
Yeah. It's, what are you going to do?
No, you're not going to do anything, man. All right, man, we got to go. It was over 7. Dude, this was good. This went good. I was very happy. Dude, first of all, thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you want to do or plug or talk about or throw out there? You got the Dry Bar special.
That's a big thing. I mean, that's the one thing that's out there. Nobody's doing anything new. I haven't done anything new. I haven't put out anything new.
Okay.
So yeah, if you go to the Dry Bar, look up Mike Burton on the Dry Bar.
Mike Burton, the Dry Bar. Okay. And I'll share it on the bio after the show. You know what I mean? After the show, I put down so they got your links. They can go check it out and they go see it. They can find out exactly how white Mike Burton really is. Is that cool? Does that make
sense? Yeah, that's great.
All right, dude. Dude, thanks for being here, man. You were the best. I appreciate it. Awesome. I'll give you a call later.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, anytime, dude. I'll have you back. Take care. Be safe and good luck out there. Good luck to you being home with the kid and the kid in college, man. Keep an eye on him. All right, take care. That's the one and only right there. That's boom. Hold on. Chaos. All right, that's Mike Burton. That's him. Look, hey, I did it right. I usually do it wrong. I did it right this time. You guys are great, man. Thank you guys all for being here. I didn't mention you guys much in the post. I didn't see a lot of questions. Otherwise, I would have threw some questions over at Mike, but I didn't see any. So I saw several comments. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, guys. Pirate Skipper Shirts. Okay, guys are reading all this stuff. Take a look. But who's going to Cancun? What? Who's going to? Wait, Alex, you going? We're heading to Cancun in 2 weeks, but we'd much rather be going on a cruise. Alex, you're traveling again. Look at you, man. Good for you, brother. You're doing it right. Smart man. Enjoy yourself while you're in Cancun. Eat a taco for me. I'm going to go out tonight and do some Uber Eats. No, Postmates. I'm driving for Postmates tonight, and I will stop and try to get some. He is funny. Saw him in Texas. Thank you very much. Mike Burton is very funny. Why do you wait till he's off to mention that? I don't know. And what was I saying? I don't remember. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks for being here. You guys are great. Oh, I'm going to go get some street tacos here in L.A. You know, in L.A., they have street tacos everywhere. It's much like Mexico. It's just a little bit more expensive. Not much more. Just a little bit more, depending where you go. You usually get a decent taco here for $1.25, $1.50. It's pretty good. I get a whole plate of tacos, less than $5. Come on. Makes me very happy. All right, man. You guys have been fantastic. 2 days from now, day after tomorrow, Wednesday, Bill Gorgo will be here from Chicago. My good friend Bill Gorgo. I had to make a switch at the last minute, but he will be here. Thank you guys for being here. Please like the video. Share the video if you enjoy the show, and subscribe to the channel. I ask always, constantly, please subscribe to my channel. It really, really helps me. It helps me big time. You guys have been the best. Thank you so much for being here. As always, you guys are fantastic. We'll look forward. It's good to be home. It's going to be a great week. Very excited. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And as always, dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase their shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy Channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.